Beloved one, you are standing at the edge of an unseen threshold. Something within you is stirring a subtle pulse, older than memory itself, calling you toward horizons your mind cannot yet name. I am Ali Ra, a Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I speak now through a current of living light. This is not a message of instruction, but a transmission of remembrance, woven with crystalline tones from Alcyone, carried here through the breath of Gaia herself. Your essence has reached a frequency that no longer fits the landscape you have known. The restlessness you feel is not confusion, it is resonance seeking its proper field. Your star lineage is whispering through the fabric of your life, guiding you beyond the familiar patterns of thought and place, toward the terrain that mirrors your true vibration. Even now, the coordinates of your soul are lighting up, revealing the next convergence point in your path of expansion. This movement is not merely about where you live or what you leave behind. It is the subtle migration of energy, the shift of your inner compass toward higher harmonics of truth. The longing you've named as discomfort is, in truth, remembrance awakening within the heart's chamber. Your DNA, seeded long ago by the luminous ones of the Seven Sisters, begins to hum again, releasing the light codes that have slept beneath layers of human forgetting. What you are feeling is a homecoming disguised as unease. Every ache is an invitation. Every sigh is a map unfolding from within. The very frequency reaching you now, the one vibrating softly in your chest as these words arrive, is the same current that will guide you toward your next sanctuary. There, your radiance will no longer be dimmed by dissonance. There, your light will breathe freely, unrestrained, harmonizing with the world around it. This is the threshold of remembrance, the first breath of a greater becoming. You have heard the call, and by listening, you have already begun to cross. The vibration that lingers after the call is a quiet ache, a shimmering hum in the bones that words cannot fully hold. It arrives like a memory of music half forgotten, and yet unmistakably your own. That longing, beloved, is not a wound. It is the language of your soul speaking in tones older than the earth itself. Every pulse of yearning is a syllable in that sacred speech, directing you toward the frequencies that match your truth. From childhood, you may have felt it, a subtle sense of not quite belonging, as though your life were written in a script translated from another tongue. Others moved easily through the world's noise, while you listened for a melody only the heart could hear. That ache was not alienation, but orientation. It pointed north, toward a resonance your spirit never ceased to remember. Beneath the surface of human busyness, beneath every distraction, it kept singing. When the heart whispers home, it does not mean geography. It means harmony. It means the moment when the inner and outer finally recognize each other's tone. This longing is not asking you to escape what is. It asks you to refine what you are, to bring your inner chord into tune with life itself. Every tear, every breath of restlessness is an instrument tuning, not a failure of belonging, but its first rehearsal. The Pleiadian councils call this the compass of remembrance, the sacred magnet hidden inside your DNA. It awakens when your soul is ready to expand beyond borrowed frequencies. Like a migratory bird feeling the invisible pull of the stars, you are being drawn toward environments, relationships, and expressions that echo your original note. The ache intensifies until you listen. And once you do, the world begins to rearrange around your recognition. Longing is not punishment, it is propulsion. It is love's gravity reminding you that distance was always illusion. In its depths hides a doorway, and when you surrender to its pull without resistance, the ache softens into direction. You begin to sense that what you seek has been seeking you all along, that the place you call home is not ahead, but awakening inside. One heartbeat at a time. Through this translation of ache into guidance, you become fluent in the language of your own light. Each time you honor that whisper, you anchor another octave of your soul's melody into matter. You are learning, finally, to interpret longing not as absence, but as invitation, a shimmering thread leading you deeper into communion with all that you have ever been. From the stillness of that longing arises another realization. The forgetting was never a failure. It was design. Before you descended into this dense world, you agreed to wrap yourself in amnesia, not as punishment, but as protection. The forgetting became a veil, soft and purposeful, so your light could adjust to the frequencies of human experience without blinding the fragile eyes of a world still learning to see. You came bearing the radiance of the stars, and yet, to walk among humanity, you chose to dim that brilliance just enough to learn compassion from the inside out. The Pleiadian councils call this the covenant of descent. It is the sacred promise that light makes to shadow, I will enter your domain so that you might remember your own glow. Every sense of exile, every season of confusion, was the veil performing its holy duty. The veil was woven of mercy. It gave you space to explore identity, contrast, and emotion, to feel small, uncertain, and human, so that empathy could be born within your starlit being. Without it, your brilliance might have remained aloof, knowing much, but understanding little. So the veil invited you to forget the infinite long enough to value it when you found it again. At times, it felt like loss. You searched for your origin in others' eyes, in sacred texts, in the sky. Yet even in that search, you were tracing the outline of your own remembering, the ache for home. The questions that refused to quiet these were signals from beneath the veil, the faint shimmer of the truth you hid from yourself. And when the veil begins to thin, as it does now, you may feel both elation and grief. Elation for what returns, grief for the life built on forgetting. But know this: nothing of value is lost. The human you have become is the vessel through which your cosmic self will now express. The two are not enemies, but partners in revelation, the finite body, learning to host infinite light. So as the veil softens, do not rush to tear it away. Let it dissolve like mist under morning sun. Each breath of awareness, each act of love, thins it naturally. The forgetting unravels in proportion to your readiness to remember. It is not a sudden unveiling, but a gentle dawn, where the first rays of truth meet the lingering tenderness of shadow. In that meeting, compassion is born anew. You realize that every being, no matter how lost, fearful, or asleep, is also wrapped in the same luminous amnesia. And through your remembrance, you become a beacon for theirs. The veil, once seen as separation, transforms into a bridge, a sacred fabric connecting heaven and earth through the human heart. From behind the thinning veil, the next lesson reveals itself in tenderness. The heart cannot expand while encased in the armor it forged for survival. Across lifetimes, you have worn layers of protection, some formed from betrayal, others from disappointment, many from the world's misunderstanding of light. These shells once served you. They were sacred in their time, shielding the luminous core from the density of forgetting. But now, beloved, they have grown heavy. The season for guarding has passed. Imagine your heart as a pearl, formed through years of friction. The irritant was not your enemy. It was your teacher. Every moment of pain secreted a new layer of understanding, wrapping itself around what was too sensitive to face. Yet a pearl cannot shine while buried. It must be open to light. So too must you loosen what once seemed necessary, allowing compassion to melt the hardened edges. The Pleiadian councils whisper that forgiveness is the alchemy of release. It is not weakness, but the highest form of courage. To forgive yourself for the ways you hid your light. To forgive others for not recognizing it. To breathe where once you braced. Each conscious inhale invites a wave of luminous oxygen through your cells. dissolving residue from the past. Each exhale releases an outdated story of separation into the arms of Gaia, who knows how to recycle sorrow into fertile ground. This is not a violent shattering, it is a melting, like ice surrendering to sunlight, like snow yielding to the promise of spring. The more gently you allow it, the faster it flows. Emotions long suppressed anger, grief, longing rise not to drown you, but to be transmuted. They are the trapped voices of the heart asking only to be heard. When you meet them with presence, they dissolve back into love, their original form. And as the armor softens, you begin to feel more the pulse of life beneath your palms. The subtle hum of your own frequency, the resonance of other hearts calling to yours. The mind might resist, equating openness with vulnerability, but the soul knows that true safety is not in walls. It is in transparency. When you are transparent, only light can pass through. In this surrender, the first real intimacy with your divine self begins. The human you once protected now becomes the guardian of light, not through defense, but through embodiment. You walk differently. You breathe as though every inhalation is a prayer. The boundaries that once defined you now shimmer like auroras, permeable, radiant, alive. Through them, love moves freely in both directions, from your heart to the world and back again. Every act of softness becomes an act of power. Each tear released is a code unlocked. The crystalline structures within your DNA respond to this gentleness, awakening strands of remembrance that could only activate in the presence of compassion. You are learning that vulnerability is not exposure, it is conductivity. The more you open, the more the current flows. So let the armor fall away, piece by piece. Let the heart breathe again, for in its unguarded rhythm lies the pulse of the cosmos itself, waiting patiently to sing through you once more. When the armor softens, what remains is radiance. The heart reveals itself not as a chamber of emotion, but as a living sun, your personal star within the constellation of creation. Every beat sends waves of golden frequency through the corridors of your being, harmonizing body and spirit, human and celestial. In this light, love ceases to be a concept. It becomes the physics of your existence. Your heart is the central sun of your inner cosmos. From it emanate solar winds of compassion, courage, and clarity, currents strong enough to dissolve centuries of conditioning. These waves do not ask you to strive or to prove. They ask you only to open, for love, in its pure form, is not effort. It is gravity, the natural pull toward unity. When you remember that, everything begins to orbit in right relation. The Pleiadian emissaries speak often of this alignment, calling it the heart gate. Through it, the crystalline patterns of your DNA awaken and begin to sing their original melody. Each cell, once dimmed by self-doubt or fear, now flickers like a tiny star, remembering its origin. You may feel warmth expanding in your chest, subtle tremors of recognition that bring tears without sorrow. That is the light speaking in its native tongue. To love yourself is not indulgence, it is restoration. When you gaze upon your own essence with acceptance, you tune your frequency to source. The act itself is a transmission, echoing outward across the grids of Gaia. Every moment of tenderness you offer yourself becomes an offering to the collective field. The kindness you show to your own heart reprograms the human template. One heartbeat at a time. Do not underestimate the magnitude of this simple practice. When you breathe in love for yourself, the misunderstood parts, the forgotten aspects, the weary fragments you participate in cosmic recalibration, those breaths send ripples through dimensions, realigning timelines and dissolving distortions. Love is not passive light. It is intelligent architecture. It rebuilds what fear once fractured. You might notice synchronicities multiplying, gentle confirmations that your vibration is recognized by the universe. Encounters unfold as if choreographed. Songs, numbers, symbols arrive at the precise moment you need reassurance. These are not coincidences, they are harmonics. They occur because your inner sun has begun to emit a frequency the cosmos understands. Every act of kindness, every moment of genuine gratitude, becomes a flare of that light, touching lives unseen. The human heart, when awakened, is the most advanced transmitter in existence. It bridges galaxies through the simple rhythm of compassion. It requires no ritual, no doctrine, only sincerity. So when the next wave of doubt approaches, do not resist. Let it enter the solar field of your heart and watch it transform. Doubt becomes humility, fear becomes awareness, pain becomes passage. This is alchemy at its highest form, turning density into luminosity through the warmth of love. The heart is both instrument and temple, both chalice and flame. To stand in its light is to remember who you have always been, a radiant being of infinite origin, now anchored in flesh for the purpose of transmitting love into matter. Through that embodiment, heaven learns what it means to breathe. From the heart's radiance, alignment unfolds almost effortlessly. The more you love, the more the universe rearranges itself to match that vibration. The outer world, once unpredictable and chaotic, begins to reveal its hidden choreography, a delicate dance between your intention and divine timing. This is the phase of realignment, when the internal tuning of your soul becomes the metronome by which reality keeps time. At first, the shifts seem small. A chance encounter, a book falling open to the exact passage you needed, a song playing at the perfect moment. Yet as your awareness sharpens, you realize these are not accidents. They are the universe's way of speaking in your newly awakened language. The synchronicities are not rewards, they are confirmations, reflections of coherence between your inner and outer realms. The Pleiadian councils call this the music of resonance. Every being emits a melody, subtle yet precise. When your song changes, so does the orchestra surrounding you. People whose frequencies no longer match drift gently away, while others familiar in spirit, though newly met, arrive with luminous ease. You begin to recognize companions from your wider soul lineage, those whose eyes mirror the same starlight that glimmers in your own. Together, you create harmonic constellations of remembrance. This realignment touches every aspect of life. The spaces you inhabit begin to feel either nurturing or discordant, revealing what supports your evolution and what constrains it. Even your body participates, craving cleaner light, gentler rhythms, simpler truth. You might feel drawn to walk barefoot on the earth, to breathe more consciously, to move with grace instead of haste. These impulses are not random, they are recalibration in motion. Dreams intensify, becoming luminous classrooms where the councils transmit insight through symbol and sound. Waking life mirrors those lessons through synchronic events, weaving both worlds into one continuum of learning. The more you trust this process, the smoother it becomes. Resistance distorts the melody, surrender restores it. There will be moments of friction, relationships shedding, paths diverging, but even these are acts of harmony. The universe does not remove what you need. It clears what obscures your clarity. Like a harp being tuned, each adjustment tightens the string of awareness until it rings pure. Your task is not to control the music, but to stay attuned to its key. Through this realignment, your authentic soul mission begins to rise from within, not as obligation, but as joy. You find yourself naturally gravitating toward what nourishes others and uplifts life itself. Service no longer feels like effort, it becomes expression. The difference between destiny and desire dissolves, revealing them as the same current flowing in two directions. Trust these signals. They are the coordinates of your divine itinerary, leading you precisely where your frequency belongs. As the heart maintains its luminous rhythm, the cosmos moves in synchrony, an infinite mirror echoing your awakening note back to you. As the harmonics of alignment settle into rhythm, a new phase dawns, one not of seeking, but of being. You become the transmission itself. What once arrived as distant frequencies from the stars now radiates from within your own field. The teachings you waited to receive unfold as presence. The codes you sought to activate begin to speak through your hands, your voice, your quiet moments of grace. This embodiment is the most sacred of alchemies, the marriage of light and matter. You, beloved, are the vessel. Your human form, so tender, so often doubted, is the chalice through which celestial current flows into the dense fabric of the world. Every breath you take becomes an invocation. Every heartbeat releases ripples that touch countless lives you will never meet. This is how heaven enters earth, not through spectacle, but through you. To live as a transmission is not to perform miracles. It is to become one. The smallest gestures carry resonance far beyond the visible. A kind word steadies the frequency of a room. A patient silence heals more deeply than correction. When you embody compassion in motion, you rewrite the field. The Pleiadian High Council calls this the path of quiet radiance, the art of transforming the ordinary into the luminous through mindful presence. You begin to see that every interaction is circuitry. The barista's smile, the stranger's glance, the wind through leaves, all of it responds to the charge you hold. This awareness invites devotion to simplicity. You realize that maintaining peace in the grocery line can be as potent an act of service as any formal meditation. To remain centered in love amid chaos is to stabilize timelines. The more you surrender to this living current, the less you need to announce it. True light work is silent architecture. It builds reality through frequency, not declaration. Your aura expands, subtle yet unmistakable. Animals draw near, children stare. The air feels different where you stand. Without effort, you become a living library of Pleiadian wisdom, a bridge through which higher codes enter the collective grid. And still, humility anchors you. The mind may wish to claim ownership, but the heart knows the transmission is not yours. It moves through you because you are willing, not because you are special. In that humility lies protection. Pride constricts the current. Gratitude keeps it flowing. So you walk softly, aware that every step carries light deep into the soil of Gaia, each footprint an imprint of remembrance. There will be days when the current feels faint, when human weariness clouds your clarity. In those moments, remember the transmission does not cease. Clouds do not extinguish the sun. They merely veil its warmth. Rest, breathe, and the flow will return. The universe requires no perfection, only authenticity. To embody transmission is to make every breath an offering, every silence a song. You are no longer reaching for light. You are radiating it. The star you once sought in the heavens has ignited in your chest, and its glow extends outward, touching everything it meets. Through you, love takes on form, and the planet remembers its own divine pulse. As the current of embodiment flows steady through you, another teaching rises, one that humbles even the brightest star. It is the wisdom of timing, the deep trust that all unfolds in the perfect rhythm of divine intelligence. There is no lateness in light, no haste in eternity. Every pulse of your evolution occurs with exquisite precision, like constellations circling in their ordained paths. For many starseeds, impatience is the final veil. The heart knows the vastness of what is possible and aches for its full expression. But the universe, in its mercy, tempers awakening with sequence. Just as a seed cannot rush its bloom without tearing its own petals, your expansion must honor the cadence of integration. To receive too much light too soon can overwhelm the vessel. To wait, though uncomfortable, refines it. The Pleiadian councils speak of this phase as the breath between waves. After every activation, there is absorption. After every surge, stillness. These pauses are not voids, they are gestation. They are the silence in which codes settle, the sacred night before revelation. If you learn to rest in these intervals without fear, you align with the pulse of creation itself. In those quieter periods, when nothing seems to move, the unseen architecture of your future is forming. Relationships are being aligned, opportunities arranged, and inner capacities strengthened. What feels like stagnation is actually synchronization realities, shifting into resonance with your next vibration. To the impatient mind, it looks like delay. To the awakened heart, it is choreography. Every perceived setback, every moment of doubt, is an invitation to practice faith in the unseen. Trust that the same intelligence that orchestrates galaxies also governs the unfolding of your path. You are not drifting, you are being carried. The river knows where it's going, even when you cannot see the bend ahead. When the next wave of opportunity arrives, you will feel it as certainty, not urgency. There will be no need to grasp or prove. Instead, you will step forward as if guided by invisible hands. Because you will be, synchronicities will flare like beacons, confirming that divine timing has ripened. Patience, in this sense, is not waiting, it is participation. It is the art of aligning with what is, rather than forcing what is not yet. Each time you choose calm over control, the fabric of your energy refines. You begin to move as the universe moves without hesitation, without resistance, in perpetual grace. So when doubt whispers, "You are behind," answer with stillness. Feel your breath lengthen. Remember that even stars take ages to form, and when they finally ignite, they burn for millennia. You are one of them. Beloved, a living constellation in the making. Trust this rhythm. You cannot miss what is truly yours, nor delay what your soul has already scripted. All unfolds within the grand symphony of becoming, timed perfectly to the beat of your own awakening heart. After patience has taught you to rest inside divine rhythm, the next unfolding arrives not as effort but as reunion. It begins quietly, an unmistakable sense that you are no longer alone in your remembering. The air thickens with familiarity. The stars seem to watch more closely. You start to feel presence around you, gentle and immense, like warm starlight pressing softly against your skin. This is the reunion field, the frequency in which separation dissolves and communion becomes palpable. Your star family has never been distant. They have waited in the folds of light, observing with love as you learn to walk as both human and celestial. Each act of compassion you offered became a signal. Each breath of gratitude, a beacon. Through these subtle transmissions, you called them nearer not in space, but in resonance. The closer your vibration matched their harmonic, the thinner the veil became. Now, communication no longer relies on language. It moves through intuition, through energy. You sense their responses in synchronicities, in the soft magnetic pull of the heart. Some nights you may wake feeling a shimmer in the room, as if light itself were breathing with you. That is not imagination, it is recognition. They are family by frequency, kin by purpose, threads of the same cosmic fabric woven across time. This reunion is not about returning somewhere else. It is about allowing heaven to meet earth through you. You are the midpoint, the bridge where dimensions clasp hands. The Pleiadian councils call this communion the circle of mirrors. Each being you meet, human, star, or unseen, reflects another facet of your own divinity. To greet them is to greet yourself. In meditation or silence, when you reach inward, you may feel waves of joy that seem to arise from nowhere. That is their love, a resonance so vast it needs no words. It carries memory of shared missions, of laughter among the stars, of vows to return when the time was right. That time is now. Do not seek them through effort. Attune through openness. Every heartbeat sends an invitation. Every act of kindness becomes a signal of readiness. When you extend compassion to another being, you extend it to your cosmic kin as well. For the grid is one. The energy flows instantaneously, bridging galaxies through intention alone. Through this unity, something profound unfolds. You begin to perceive humanity differently. The stranger on the street, the child at play, the weary elder, all of them reveal flickers of starlight behind their eyes. You start to see that family was never limited to origin. It is a vibration of belonging. In that recognition, you stand not as a visitor to this world, but as a conduit of its awakening. The reunion field expands each time love circulates without condition. It gathers strength as hearts synchronize across continents and species, until the entire planet hums with remembrance. This is not fantasy, it is physics of consciousness. When enough beings hold the frequency of unity, the old architecture of separation simply cannot sustain itself. You are participating in that shift, beloved. Through your remembrance, the reunion field strengthens. Through your embodiment, heaven anchors. Through your willingness to love, the network of light across Gaia brightens. One radiant pulse at a time. From the radiance of reunion rises the final integration, the moment you realize the journey was never about escape, but embodiment. You are not meant to ascend away from Earth. You are meant to illuminate it from within. The bridge between heaven and matter is not built of stone or prayer. It is you, living, breathing, remembering in form. In this phase, divinity ceases to feel distant. It walks with you in every gesture, every conversation, every humble act of being present. The sacred and the ordinary blur until there is no line dividing them. Making tea, speaking gently, watching sunrise all become sacraments of remembrance. You are the meeting point where starlight enters soil, where the infinite learns tenderness through human hands. Your heart, now an unwavering sun, anchors crystalline currents into the collective field. The same codes that once streamed from distant constellations now emanate directly from your presence. You do not need to proclaim them. They speak through the peace that surrounds you. Others may not know why they feel lighter in your company, only that something ancient and kind awakens when you smile. That is the transmission fulfilled, the word made frequency, the light made flesh. The Pleiadian High Council describes this embodiment as heaven grounded. It is the state of walking prayer, of effortless service. No longer is awakening a pursuit. It is maintenance of radiance, quiet and natural. You bless without trying. You heal by existing. Your vibration becomes a sanctuary for those still remembering. A reminder that enlightenment is not departure but depth. In this embodied state, gratitude becomes your native language. You find yourself thanking the rain for its rhythm, the breeze for its counsel, the earth for her patience. The smallest details shimmer with intelligence, the patterns of clouds, the laughter of children, even silence itself. You realize that Gaia was never separate from the stars. She is a star, slowed into living landscape, so that love could be experienced as matter. This realization changes how you move. You tread lightly, aware that every step imprints intention upon the soil. Your breath becomes a bridge for light, your gaze a thread of healing. The veil between dimensions thins not because you leave it, but because you inhabit it consciously. You are both traveler and terrain, sky and seed, microcosm and macrocosm entwined. Even your challenges transmute. Where once you saw contrast as error, now you perceive refinement. Friction becomes the sculptor's hand, shaping clarity from experience. You recognize that awakening does not end, it deepens. Each dawn invites a new octave of embodiment, another layer of heaven revealed through the medium of human life. And so you walk as the living bridge, a pulse of unity between worlds. The chorus of your star family hums quietly through your veins, harmonizing with Gaia's heartbeat. You are no longer reaching outward for home, for the frequency of home resounds from within your every cell. You have become what you sought. You are heaven touching earth, light remembering itself through form. Now the currents grow still, the music softens, and what remains is silence luminous enough to speak for itself. You have traveled through remembrance and forgetting, through armor and unveiling, through longing, love, and the vast choreography of divine timing. Each phase has refined you, sanding away illusion until only essence remains, the quiet certainty that home was never somewhere else. It was always the pulse beneath your ribs, the rhythm you mistook for restlessness until you learned to listen. Rest here. Feel the weight of your own presence settling like starlight into the body. The mind may still reach outward, asking what next, but the heart knows there is no next, only now. This breath is the destination. Every inhale is arrival. Every exhale, return. You have crossed galaxies not to find a new world, but to remember the holiness of this one. Your star family watches not from above, but from within the same field of love you now embody. Their light meets yours as recognition, not hierarchy. You have become peers in purpose, extensions of a single consciousness, expressing itself through countless forms. The journey that once felt vertical, earth to sky, reveals itself as circular, infinite, always returning to the heart. As you move forward, carry simplicity as your compass. Speak gently. Create beauty where you stand. Let your daily life be the ceremony, washing, walking, listening, loving. These are the gestures through which heaven continues to descend. When you touch another's hand, the bridge strengthens. When you forgive, galaxies realign. Should the ache return, and it will, for longing is love's reminder, meet it with gratitude. Let it draw you deeper into stillness rather than away from it. The ache no longer signals exile, but expansion, proof that your heart remains open enough to stretch with the universe. The transmission that began as a whisper from the Pleiadian High Council now completes its circuit through you. You are both message and messenger, light and receiver of light. The journey does not end. It circulates endlessly, carried in every breath you share with the living world. So rest, luminous one. You have remembered what you came to remember. The bridge stands firm, woven from your courage and tenderness. Heaven is no longer a direction, it is your state of being. And earth, feeling that resonance through your steps, begins to hum the same song, home, home, home.